Because normally you take a couple hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is the way with the holidays and everything. It just kind of worked out.
Yep.
Right on, right on.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Do you have your list ready to go?
Nah, I'm gonna fly by the seat of my pants, like I usually do. I mean,
What if
I
you
have some games like ready in the wings, but I just don't know. I don't have like a knockdown.
you don't have like a list of like these are going to be the first 6 games I played?
Exactly. I was actually thinking about starting off with Bastion.
Oh, wow!
Yep.
Bring back an oldie.
Yep. 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 Indubitably, my friend. Indubitably.
Ah, there's my beautiful face.
I think it's 49. 224. Mostly negative.
No positives.
Now, I've got a bunch of games that are going to be potential picks here. So, Bastion, there's a game called Trinity Fusion that I might break out. Transistor, of course. Psychonauts 2, a game called Moonlighter. Um, let's see, there's a game called Hi Fi Rush. Um, I might break out a game called Guilt. I might break out Alan Wake 2. Some Slay the Spire, some Legends of Runeterra. You just never know. You never know. You never know.
What do you know? I don't know
At
either.
this point, I don't know nothing. I don't know
So many,
nothing.
so many things to know or not to know.
Exactly. So, I do know for a fact that the audio hookup that I have going from my speaker to my headphones is only doing the left channel.
That sounds annoying.
Yes, so that's why if anyone's watching, you'll see that I've got my right headphone completely off because it's just dead air, and there's nothing quite as unnerving as listening to dead air. It's
You must resurrect the air.
yes, the air, of course. How foolish of me to not know to resurrect the air. If only I knew.
It is but a simple task
Mm,
of brain over matter.
mm, so simple. Yes, there was some desires in this household for me to start my 24-hour gameathon earlier today, and
Mm.
then uh, take a break for the Thursday hangout, and then jump back in. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Mm.
And it was smart because I was needed elsewhere.
Ah, you are needed indeed.
Mm. Yes, of course. Now, I am going to steal a couple of these gummy bears because I deserve them. Damn it!
You deserve all the bears. Oh my God, what are you doing? No.
Eating the wires.
Kids these days, yo.
Exactly. I might also break out the Switch and play some games on the Switch too. I've
Nice.
got my capture card and everything set up. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that with the capture card.
yep, 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 yep.
Did you get any good sleep last night?
Sort
or
of.
just another normal?
Normal night. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, well, you picked hard mode because at least like the way you done it before, you'd get like
2 or 3
it's like
hours.
I can run up with like 3 to 4 hours of sleep and like be fine the next day.
Yeah.
I can only do it once, but I can at least do it that one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, not having any sleep at all.
No, I got 2 to 3 hours, so. Oh, what the? Dude, my show starts in like a minute and 45 seconds. What's up? We need. We'll fix it in the morning. Don't let him fix it. He'll break it even worse.
Mm.
Oh, for God's sakes. Lordy. Okay.
That's why we love the kids, right? I just had to speak it into existence.
I love the kids. They're
They
so
love
great. You. Yeah, right. At 8, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we're almost ready.
I'm ready to do the thing with the stuff
I do
where
want to
we
check
talk
something real
into
quick. Hold on.
tubes. What?
I just want to make sure it's actually streaming on Facebook because it's been like hit or miss as of late.
That's just silly.
Yes. Nope, it's working. Very good. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, I need to do that.
Let's do this. We're going to hit the record button, and then we're going to mute Zealeus, and we're going to start the show.
You jerk.
Mute Zealeus. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Dish Yelta Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Greetings on this beautiful, chilly Thursday night here down in Tube Land.
Yes, the ones and zeros are quite chilly this evening. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific comer himself, Zealeus.
Good evening, good sir, of the men in red and black.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. It's a live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. If at any time you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, topics, or you just want to throw your opinion out there, by all means, drop it in the chat, be it on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, and we will try to add your voice to the show. If we do run out of time, we will add your topic or question to the very next show. So without further ado, let's jump into the show.
Yes.
All right. So the first question we have this evening comes from a good friend who is always into collectible cards, and that is, what is your stance on having a ban list for a digital collectible card game when doing competitive play? Like, now understand that Zealeus and I, we used to play these card games in real life with real people in real rooms, and you had to buy the real cards. And there were certain tournaments where certain cards were outlawed. But now we're talking digital. And digital, you know, they're always monkeying around with trying to make the perfect card. So what is your view on a ban list for a digital card game?
I mean, not really having played a whole lot of online games. I played a little bit of Legends of Runeterra when it first came out. You're still probably going to get to the same situation where even tweaks aside and whatnot, you're still going to have crazy combinations of cards and stuff where, you know, because every card you add adds in basically an extra degree of crazy chaos that could happen.
Right.
And just the virtually infinite combinations that you're going to create, you're definitely going to get that card or two that creates weird outlets that you're not expecting. So if it's for a competition, you know, competitive tournaments, I get it. That I don't see an issue with it personally. I think where it could get
Uh-oh. I think we just lost Zealeus. There it
Harry
is.
is okay. So Terra, but if you play competitive, am I back?
You're back.
Okay, like I don't play Legends of Runeterra, but if you play competitive, is it? Are there cards you can buy that give you like more of an advantage over the opponents potentially if they're not investing? And what I'm really wondering is like if I'm a gamer and I get those cards, can those then be banned?
So, you can't technically. Well, okay. So you have the ability in Legend of Runeterra to buy wild cards, and the wild cards could then be used to purchase existing cards in the game. You
Okay.
could technically unlock every single card in the game, by just playing Legend of Runeterra. Um, you could just, it just, and if you play enough, you're going to unlock wild cards yourself, so you don't really have to use any money. But if you're looking to just, create your perfect deck, I guess you could use, real world currency to get the coins to turn around and buy the wilds, and then whatever.
Basically get it quicker in that
Yeah,
case.
exactly. Kind of just speed walk it. Um, I don't think that there's any like card combinations that are banned in Legend of Runeterra. They're pretty good at balancing. Um, and if there is that type of like something crops up, they're pretty quick at making itty bitty little changes so to even it out. It's not like they're gonna keep something the same way for months at a time.
I mean, but that's the world we grew up in, though, was it was that way forever.
Right.
And that's why you had to have banned.
Exactly.
So maybe that's a different way of looking at it is should cards be updated from their original status? Or do they do like they did with Magic the Gathering, where maybe like one revision to the next, you get an updated version of that card?
Right.
I don't see an issue with that. And then maybe the old one does get banned, but that's different than like if I have a 5/2 dragon that costs 2 mana and that was too powerful, so it goes down to a 2/2. But then all my cards are retroactively changed is very different than just changing new unboxings of that same card.
Right. No,
Uh,
I can see that. I mean, I think it's really weird. I think it would be a lot odder to see a ban list for a digital collectible card game. We've Zealeus and I have lived through when Magic the Gathering was, itty bitty teeny weeny, and now of course it's monstrously humongous,
mhm.
and will eat the little guys out of house and home.
Nom, 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 nom.
But that's another story for another day. But it just, I don't know, with the ability to basically change one little stat and then it all retroactively changes everything. Like there's a in Legend of Runeterra, I know this is not competitive gaming, but there's a mode in there that I love to play. It's called Path of Champions, and basically you have you choose a main champion. You start with a very small deck, and then it builds as you adventure through a specific area, and there's a difficulty rating, and you have the ability to add relics once you've basically explored enough. Your experience point, your level is high enough. There's one card that it basically allowed you to hit the nexus with your champion upon the champion coming out. Now they figured out that was way too effing powerful, and so now they do that, but they -1 from the power to try to, cheapen it. That I understand. It would just be really weird if all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you can't use this champion, this champion, this champion, and these 7 cards. I don't know.
But how's that any different than what we grew up with? That's exactly what we had.
No, that's what I'm talking about. It would be really weird for me if they're like, you can't use this champion and these 8 cards. Now I feel like what they do is they change the They're like, okay, well, this champion's way OP'd, so we'll um, drive the cost up. There's a new champion that just brought out that um, is super duper OP'd. However, in order to bring it out, you got to it basically its cost is greater than even the full mana bar is, and you got to do stuff to help drive the cost of it down to decrease its cost.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, just having to have it digital ban would be weird. I mean, I understand. Like, look, there's a lot of games out there that the with what came to Smite or and maybe Overwatch. I think
Nope. It's
Overwatch
not an Overwatch.
never banned when you're playing competitive. The teams couldn't choose. Okay, well, in Smite, or used to be in Smite, where you could basically, as a team, decide these two characters the other team can't have.
Yeah.
That I totally understand. If it's a selective ban by your opponent, there's in Legend of Runeterra there's a gauntlet mode where you have, I think it's access to 3 decks, and your opponent can basically nix one of those decks, and then of course it's the best of 3. So if you win the first 2 with the 2 decks you have, actually no, it's not the best of 3. I can't remember what it is. But basically, you can nix one of your opponent's decks. So that type of banning, sure, yeah, that's totally fine. It would just be really weird to be like, you would to have a laundry list to basically check against, like the good old days where you have to lay out all your cards and go, okay, all right, for the swamp mana, let's see here, this version of Frozen Shade is unavailable. I can't use Lich. Can't use Sengar Vampire. I can't use this version of Nightmare. Oh god, that'd make my head hurt now. If there's a problem with those cards, just, digitally do your magic on it so that I can continue on my deck and then find out that my card has been changed and get slightly pissed that my awesome deck is no longer as awesome as I thought it was, but then I can go back and just build with all the other digital cards I have.
I don't know. I can see both sides of it, because there is also, I had that original card in its original format, and maybe I put all the resources in getting that card because of its original status. And now, because it's been changed, I don't really care for it anymore because it's not as OP as it once was. So I think that's also kind of gives that player who maybe had the foresight of getting that card, also kind of gives them the shaft a little bit.
Right. Well,
yeah. Oh.
All right, the next story, and I know this has probably been out there for a while, but it would have been really cool if this actually happened. There is an amazing director out there whose name is Edgar Wright. I think most of Edgar Wright's biggest stuff revolves around his him and oh my god, Simon Pegg getting together and creating things like Shaun of the Dead and At the World's End and Hot Fuzz and other movies like that. But they're coming. There's a story that's been going around and they're bringing back up again. As many of you may know, Edgar Wright was actually pegged for one of the Marvel movies that he famously basically dropped out of, and that, of course, is the Ant-Man movie. But he was also targeted for another movie, which unfortunately never actually saw the light of day. And I think it would have been interesting for those out there who don't know. There is a famous X-Men out there that was kind of teased in the Wolverine origin movie, who was a New Orleans gambler who had a thing with cards, and that, of course, is Gambit. And apparently Edgar Wright was the guy they wanted to direct Gambit. Of course, Gambit never happened. But that would have been, I don't know.
That could have worked because Gambit had that kind of sly sense of humor.
Yes.
and that's what he does in a lot of his movies. Um, I guess the question is what kind of tone would they be going for in that type of movie?
Right.
Did he want to do kind of, because he's kind of known for the more campy movies, not in a bad way. I mean, they're good movies, but they're definitely much more like campy style versus what you usually see. I mean, you saw with the X-Men movies, and they tried to be serious, and it just totally fell flat and would be terrible sometimes. But usually they try for the more serious side of things. But usually the humor happened because Hugh Jackman's a phenomenal actor, and he could pull it off with Wolverine.
Right.
But it was like those one shots that just worked out.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that if out of all the MCU, I think with existing the theme and the pace and just the feel of the movie, Edgar Wright would be right at home in a Deadpool movie. I think that would be up his alley.
No, as I was saying that with the humor of Wolverine, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, actually, that's Deadpool. Yeah. So to your exact point, yes, maybe there is that point, and maybe because like that's what the DCEU has got so wrong over the years. Is it's always I'm super serious, or they use 12th grade potty humor to try to have really terrible jokes.
Yes,
and it's like they don't know how to straddle that line, which is something the old MCU did really well. And so I think that's something where a director like him could pull off is how to be serious and yet have that interlaced humor at the same time.
Right.
Which is not easy. You have to have a good script writer, you have to have a good director, and you have to have the actors to pull it off.
Yes.
You kind of have to have it all. Unfortunately, lately, I think more than anything, you've seen just not great scripts. And they just is really what's happened mostly.
Okay, so let's continue this storyline here with MCU and the DCU.
DCEU, yes.
Whatever.
The DC Extended Universe.
Now a lot. Okay, so of course there's been a lot that's been happening in both of these universes here. Of course, in the MCU universe, you see that they've really started to lose steam, and then of course on top of everything, you have the Jonathan Majors thing, which a lot of people are going, okay, well, who's going to be the big nasty to kind of round out what they're looking to do to end the new Avengers arc? Because is Kang going to be still the bad guy? And the new reports is, yes, Kang will be the bad guy, but it will be a recast. There will be someone else playing the part of Kang, which he was the first time that you see Kang, it wasn't Jonathan Majors, but it's not going to be that Hector either. The rumors still point all the way to, oh my gosh, what's that guy's name? The guy who plays Finn in the latest trilogy from Star Wars. I want to say it's like John Boyette.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
but yeah, they're still thinking that. There, of course, is still rumors that an oldie but goodie will come swooping in. An oldie but goodie villain will come swooping in and take control of everything, and that, of course, is Doctor Doom.
I think I said Thanos comes back and retcons and destroys the other half.
Thanos goes, ha, bitches, double snap.
Yeah, I did snap with both fingers. Everyone's dead.
So but
actually, would that kill 50 and 50 simultaneously, or would it kill 50 of the 50?
I think it'd kill 50 of the 50. So you'd be 25%.
I don't know. Sounds like a quantum physics question.
Or with the double snap, do 50, and then 50% of the existing 50 would disappear. So you just have like terrible bad stuff happen.
A little bit of terrible bad stuff. Yeah, it happens.
Okay, anyways. So you got that going for the MCU. Then, of course, you have the DC Extended Universe, right? Or is it the Extended DC Universe?
I think it's DCEU is how I always see it shortened.
Okay, well, there you go. DCEU, whatever. There are a lot of people going around that basically say that is now officially dead thanks to the latest Aquaman movie.
So what you're saying is everything in the current iteration of DCEU is going to be retconned again.
Yep, that's the rumor.
Fantastic, especially because all that shit is right now. I've actually watched a fair number of them on Netflix. The Shazams were entertaining.
Yes.
Like the ones I've watched, I've liked. I like the Shazams. Black Adam was okay, but it was watchable.
Wonder Woman.
What?
The Wonder Woman movies?
I've not watched. I watched the OG Wonder Woman like in the theaters when it came out. I have not watched 1984 because I heard such a shit show, but I'll probably eventually watch it just so I can mark it off my list. I liked. Okay, then they have, and the titles are dumb, but they have like the first Suicide Squad with Will Smith, which I did not like at all. But the second Suicide Squad was really good with John Cena.
The Patriot.
That was, yeah, such a. But look at also you had the actors. You had John Cena. You had Idris Elba. Margaret Robbie doing her thing. Like you also had a much better all-around cast doing it, and I think just a better script. So yeah, the second one is much better for Suicide Squad.
I'm still trying to get through the Doom Patrol, which is like pushed way off to the side. DC.
Isn't that the cartoon? No, I don't know what that is.
No. Doom Patrol is this. It's basically like, how to describe it? It's a bunch of rejects that are sitting on the sidelines that are kind of superheroes. Like there's like not really an Invisible Man, but sort of. There's a guy who's all robot minus the brain. You have this girl who is kind of elastic, but really just turns to goo under pressure. It's like really, you've got a girl who's got like 75 split personalities, but they also have superpowers. It's basically like you take Charles Xavier's school for, the gifted, but instead it's like 5 random people with sort of superpowers that just get into trouble.
I'm guessing more to comedy then.
Yes. Brendan Fraser is the voice of the robot, by the way.
Okay. Yep, I've not seen that.
And the not really invisible guy, but kinda is, but isn't, is oh shit, what's his name? I'm gonna make a reference, and I don't think everyone's gonna get it, but Bryce Larkin from Chuck. Matthew Bomer, something like that. Yeah, he's there.
That's a name I've not thought of in a while.
And then Alan Tudyk is the bad guy.
Wait, no, he was in White Collar.
Yes, that's right, White Collar. Yeah. Alan Tudyk is the bad guy, and Timothy Dalton is kind of like the Professor X type of guy.
They have a hell of a cast for that.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a great cast. But anyways, yes, the rumor is that thanks to Aquaman 2, the DCEU, if it wasn't already going in decline, is now in the toilet. But then again, a lot of people would say that the MCU has been headed that way too, with lackluster stuff coming out. Apparently, the Marvels did not do well.
Well, everything I've seen, and I'll be the first one, I have not seen the new stuff, but it's a combination of, there's a bit of fatigue there with Disney Plus trying to, come out with all their shows, and just like the quality is not what it was before.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think that's something, and that's supposed to be the beauty of superheroes is, you still need good actors, but it's not as reliant on actors.
Right.
But you don't have the scripts in, like, it feels like what you had with basically the first, wasn't it technically 3 phases? I think with the original MCU, technically up into Endgame. But they're just not as good. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And when they're just not as good consistently is also the issue. Because we got one that's not good, people saw them, but then when it just continues to being crap time and time again, people aren't going to go to watch it. And it's also just people. There's also it's not dead, but the movie theater is not what it used to be either.
Right.
It's you look at like something like Barbie and Oppenheimer, which were the two biggest movies this year, and those were not probably not what we typically thought would be your big blockbuster movies at the time.
Right.
But you look, and they're also very different than what both Netflix, Prime, and all of them are putting out.
Yeah.
They're different than those. It's like, oh, I can watch another hero movie at home, or I can go see something different that's more of an event, because it's also, what is the price of going to go see a movie now? It's also like $20 a person,
Right.
paying $10 for popcorn. I mean, it ain't cheap at all.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you see a couple of movies with your family, you might as well just buy a brand new 85-inch TV at that point.
True.
With the cost.
And you were right. The Phase 3 was the big kahuna. Phase 3 contained Captain America: Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War, Ant-Man and Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers: Endgame, and then Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah. And yeah, I am glad that I got to see Avengers in theaters because Avengers, yes, but Endgame, especially Endgame too. Because that's just I don't think that's a cinematic experience. I just don't think will be relived.
Right.
Because the movie theater experience has moved to the home in large part. And you just had over a decade worth of movies culminating to that moment, and all good movies.
Yeah.
That's the key. They're good movies.
Yeah.
People are invested in it. I mean, people of all walks in life knew about the MCU and what was going on. And you also didn't have to watch 4 different TV shows to know what was going on. You didn't have to watch whatever was on Disney Plus. It was you saw what was out in the theater. So you could see those. And then the first one was obviously good. And you had the ending of the first Endgame, oh my gosh, are they actually really dead?
Yep.
And so it all led up to that. And it's just going to be, I just don't know how you emulate that with the way things have changed in the movie going experience, and everything else has just changed so much over the years.
Right.
Because there is going to be an Avengers 5, apparently.
Yes.
Kind of felt like it was Marvels. I don't know what the difference, honestly, between the Marvels and Avengers are, because isn't Marvels just a couple of superheroes thrown together for a movie? So isn't that basically the event?
Well, they're actually different versions of Marvel. Like Captain Marvel. You have Captain Marvel, you have Miss Marvel, and then I can't remember what the other one is. One of them is the effects of, I think, WandaVision. But those 2 of the 3 were heavily dependent on Disney Plus shows.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't watch those, or they might have watched one of them, but there's so much content that people aren't watching all of them.
Yeah. So,
yes. But thank you for clarifying. I did not know that.
Yes, you're welcome.
So, yes. And of course, the question is, who's going to be in Avengers 5, or whatever we're calling it?
Yes, since it's no longer, they dropped the Kang part.
Of course, the rumor is are they going to retcon Tony Stark from the dead?
I've heard that there's going to be some kind of Tony Stark involvement, but from my understanding, it's going to be more like hologram. He's going to be there, but not really there.
But the entire trailer is going to be devoted just to him.
Yeah, exactly. In remembrance of Tony Stark, when shit was good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's pause real quick to thank all those amazing individuals out there who help Ultra Confusion be the best and greatest Ultra Confusion that we can be. And so, without further ado, let us start off with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout out we got to give is to an individual who apparently just signed a brand new contract to continue to be the cameraman in the city that he now resides, which I believe is Kansas City. So, congratulations to Noodle Boy Media. Formed in 2015 by Andrew Trant, Noodle Boy Media, previously White Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. The next shout out we got to give is to an individual who can help many gamers in the greater Atlanta area get all those aches and pains out of their body through, of course, we probably push ourselves a little too hard during our gaming sessions. Who doesn't? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential in themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. The next one, of course, is to the music maestro himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Crosspad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alta Confusion? Crosspad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he could do for you. The final shout out we got to give to is the original patron, and that, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both a development team and system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, of course, to get information on his book, go to agileaxiom.com. Now, of course, I know at this very moment you're thinking, oh my God, Charlie, how do I become a patron of Alta Confusion so I too could be a friend of the show? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to tell you that Alta Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, mummies, werewolves, swamp creatures, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. We currently have two tiers. We got the $1 a month, that's $1 a month, or $12 a year tier, and what that gets you is early access to our playthroughs, as well as the ability to participate in patron-only posts and polls. If you're feeling a little extra frisky, you can go for the $5 a month, that's $5 a month, or $60 a year. Not only do you get everything at the $1 mark, but you also gain your name or organization added to every single Friends of the Show section of the Thursday night hangout. So if you want to become a patron for Alter Confusion, go to Patreon, that's patreon.com/altered confusion. Now, this is a big one. Ladies and gentlemen, Alter Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 12 years straight. And tonight, right after this show, we are going to do what gamers do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Alter Confusion. And I do want to point this out, ladies and gentlemen, even if you do not get around to donating this evening, you have until the end of the year to donate. It's all good. The money still goes to where it's supposed to, and it's for the kids.
Isn't that like 2 days?
Yeah.
Okay, just
No,
making
3
sure I'm
days.
not like
3 days.
back.
There's 31 days in December. See these.
There you go.
Gosh, I used to be a teacher. God.
I can't keep track of these things, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the rest of the stories here. We got some real fun ones here. Here's a real shocker. It turns out that as of late, a certain game that has been a little bit marred in negative reviews has seen their reviews go even more negative. Actually, majority are now coming in as negative. That, of course, is the highly anticipated and very I don't want to say depressing, because it's not like you get sad over it. You just get frustrated that it's not the game you wanted, and we're talking about Starfield. I think, man, these guys can't get out of their way. I mean, this game had potential, but then, I mean, it's not. Let's get this. It's not the day before, okay? It's not that game. It's not that bad, but still. Starfield has continued to receive the negative reviews because it's God, I don't even know how long it's been out now.
I was just looking, and 3.5 months.
Okay, 3.5 months, and I think they fixed like one little thing about your ship, like being able to for piloting the ship, and that's it. They still have the random, if you play enough new game pluses, that certain planets, because of the roguelike randomization, that certain planets will crash into their own moons, or vice versa.
Sounds kind of cool.
But it won't affect the your landing strategy for said things.
So you can still land on the crashed planet?
Anyways.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I got OP landing.
Go team, go. Anyways, so I just, I mean, I hate to see that for the developers, but at the same time, it's, I think for me, it's, you look at two completely different results of a game kind of falling flat on their face. What I'm talking about is the difference between Starfield and Cyberpunk 2077. Oh my gosh, I can never get the stupid name right. Project CD Project.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, okay. The creators, the developers behind Cyberpunk 2077 set out to fix what they did wrong. And yes, I'm sure that the developers behind Starfield are doing the same, but I feel like the Cyberpunk guys made it like their fucking life's mission to right the wrongs and to make the game that was supposed to be there. And let me tell you, there were some really bad parts to it. But on the other side, also, they didn't shy away from interpersonal relationships with intimacy and whatnot. Where on on Starfield, it's like your most intimate thing is you might touch hands, but also it's just, I don't know. It just felt so. By the end,
I feel like two very different launches where it feels like when Cyberpunk 2077 came out, I remember a much worse launch, honestly, because it was so buggy.
Yep.
But everyone who played it said, though, okay, this game is buggy as hell, but you can see the potential. Yes. But like, it's just barely playable sometimes. Yep. And that's why I was so negative coming out. Whereas it feels like Starfield's the opposite. Like, it's pretty polished, actually. I mean, yes, every game's going to have the bugs, obviously. But it's a pretty polished game but it just doesn't have any soul to it
Oh
almost.
God, no.
I think that's the big difference between the two games. As I remember 27/7 being so much worse. Whereas now it's like people are playing like it's the more they've had time to really play and digest Starfield, it's like there's nothing to do. I mean, there's stuff to do in the game, but it's just not really
It's really
fun.
rinse and repeat. I mean, it's really like
Yeah. So
you turn. It's like toasting a piece of white bread, and then being surprised that, and your one surprise being that one side is slightly more toasted than the other side. I mean, that's
but isn't that also a little bit of Bethesda's reputation in that coming in the heels of games like Skyrim's
Mhm.
and
Mass Effect.
oh my gosh, what?
Mass Effect. No.
No, not Mass Effect. Um
Dragon Age.
the
No.
Dragon Age.
Um,
I'm thinking of like the rustic one, where like not cyberpunk, but like all brown and stuff.
Fallout.
Something. Fallout. Thank you.
All
Wow.
brown and stuff.
Fallout.
You mean dirt,
Shit.
dust, dude, dust.
You know what I meant. Those type of games, like there was playability to other things. So I feel like a little bit of it is also when a developer comes out with that, has that cachet of games, and you come up with something that was touted to be in the same vein as those, but doesn't live up to those. I think that also adversely affects people's opinions of the game. Kind of like I always say, like Mass Effect Andromeda was not a bad game.
Yeah.
But because it came on the heels of one of the best trilogies of all times, it like negatively influenced people's reviews of Andromeda. And I think probably the same thing's happening with Starfield, where it's supposed to be like Skyrim in space, but there's not as much depth as what you had in Skyrim. Ergo, it's not very good.
Right.
I feel what's happened.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I agree.
Fairly or unfairly.
Yeah. So, yeah. I can see that, and I agree. See that and agree. All right.
I mean, it's still a game I'm most likely not going to play because I'm not an open world. I'll play an open world.
This is
like
open,
Horizon, like
empty space.
Yeah, like I'll play like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Like it's open world, but it's not too vast. Whereas it sounds like this game within the first like 2 hours, I'd be like, hell no.
You'd be like, what planet again? Fuck it. Just screw it. Just stop. Just stop.
Pretty much. That's exactly what happened.
Okay. All right. So here's some interesting news, and this could be good or it could be absolutely bad. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a certain author out there who has a collection of stories that has wowed people for, oh God, over 100. Has it really been 100 years? It might be. There is an author who goes by the name of, or went by the name, I should say, because this dude is dead, unless you read his books and then you believe some of the stuff that's in his books, then maybe he isn't dead. And that, of course, is H.P. Lovecraft. Apparently, there is a new movie based off of H.P. Lovecraft's like most iconic short story being adapted by the director who is behind The Conjuring and Insidious, the movies, which were pretty freaky horror movies. And of course, the short story that I'm talking about is Call of Cthulhu. Now, for those the uneducated out there, there have been a shit ton of B and C and D H.P. Lovecraft inspired movies out there. There are a ton of them. Now, to have something, basically what you would consider in video game terms a AAA title of a Call of Cthulhu, this could be interesting, right?
I'm intrigued. I'd be curious to see what actually comes of it. Why don't you see cartoon horror movies?
You want to see one or
It just came to my mind for some reason.
cartoon?
I don't know.
Dude, there are some really messed up anime horror movies out there and also TV shows.
Okay, I did not think of anime.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Oh, okay. By the way, Call of Cthulhu is based off the short story was published in 1928, so it is almost 100 years old.
So it could be the almost 100-year rendition of on the big screen.
Well, I guess. Well, I mean, really, now the talk is just coming out, so it might be on the 100-year anniversary by the time this thing comes out, or close to it.
There you go. That'd be a good way to ring in the 100th anniversary of the Cthulhu.
Yeah, but I mean, I've read and listened on audiobook quite a few of H.P. Lovecraft's stories, and they are bizarre. But at the same time, this one, I don't know, because it's a short story, and if you could, there is definitely the potential to kind of like, expound upon it and make it really creepy, because it centers around like an investigation into the cult of Cthulhu. So it could be good.
Or maybe we should just start a cult based on Cthulhu.
I think we'd be late to the party, my friend. I'm pretty sure there's about a half dozen, at least, maybe more, cults to Cthulhu.
The altered Cthulhu.
And Cthulhu, I think H.P. Lovecraft. That's all public domain now, right? Because, I mean, anyone, I think that's why you have so many B, C, and D movies of Lovecraft stuff, is because it is public domain. You're not going to get sued for creating your rendition of
so long.
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Just like Alice in Wonderland. If you want to have a really twisted, messed up Alice in Wonderland, by all means, have at it, because that's whatever I just said.
They exist.
Yes, they do. They do. So, H.P. Lovecraft. Interesting. Let's see where that goes. All right. I've been trying to push this off for a bit. I'm gonna say it now, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, as I told you last week, I am very excited to say that Alter Confusion will be at Chattacon 49. That will be happening in Chattanooga on January 12th through the 14th. And it would appear that my duties are increasing by the minute. I may be doing anywhere from 1 to 2 to 4 panels, on top of recording some of the other panels outside of my own. But I will definitely be at Chattacon. I will be definitely this is going to be the normal Charlie at a convention. I'll be working it. But if you have the ability to come to Chattanooga even for just a day, it is a really, really fun, laid back convention. It is, as I've stated so many times, it is my definition of a buddy convention. Anyone and everyone that comes to the convention, be it the guest of honor all the way down to your first time attendee, will be hanging out with each other and shooting the shit if you have interests in common. And then for those out there who are, I believe it's 18 and older, there is a burlesque show one of the nights, which is...
Why are you not on the panelist list? This is a blasphemy.
Because I got my panel entry in late, and I've been working with the panel, the panel chair the last 3 days to try to see what all I can do to help. So
until it's on there, it is not real.
Fine. It will be on there. I promise you. I don't know. And what, she's got my blurb. She's got my headshot. She's got, like I said, 1 to 4 panels that, 3 of them I did last year. and there's a fourth one I offered up, and I'm pretty sure I'll be doing the fourth one. So 1 to 4 panels I'll be doing at Chattacon.
You better drink your water.
Or just my Mountain Dew. And water.
Get hydrated however you have to.
I'll get one of those, what do you call those things? The Mio juice and the water enhancer squeeze things.
Oh, gosh.
They're good.
I know what you're talking about, yes.
Yeah, they're good. They're delicious. All right.
I'll take your word.
Let's talk about the final topic here that has come across my desk. My digital desk, not my real desk. That'd be really weird. Someone break into my house and leave me a topic. And that is, there is a prisoner in Florida. I believe he's best known as the Florida Joker for his iconic tattooed face. He is giving Rockstar Entertainment a final ultimatum about them utilizing his likeness as well as pieces of his story in the new upcoming Grand Theft Auto 6, which happens to be in a Florida-inspired setting. Apparently, one of the inmates basically is a dead ringer for this guy, or close enough that the Florida Joker wants to take legal action.
The real problem is actually if they're reusing the tattoos, because the tattoos are actually the IP of the tattoo artist.
Okay, so
because it's come up in NBA games.
Yes, I know. Believe me, I know.
They've removed the tattoos due to copyrights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's, I don't think the dude on his own actually has a leg to stand on. It's actually those with artistic talent, which is probably not him, are the ones who could actually benefit from this.
So apparently, there has been a trailer that was recently released that the guy, let's see here.
It was like it leaked, and then they went ahead. I think it was leaked originally, and then Rockstar's like, okay, I guess we'll just release it now.
Apparently what happened was there in this said trailer, there was a tattooed criminal being arrested during the trailer, which then drew a lot of comparisons to a famous, the Florida Joker's famous 2017 mugshot. He basically apparently started off with, hey, Rockstar, we need to talk because you're using my likeness. And then it's escalated to, this is your final warning. Let's do an ultimatum. Otherwise, I'm taking you to court.
I wish him luck on that.
Yeah. The thing is, you have, yeah, you try, you could, have fun with that. That's going to be a lot of, I hope that
I'm sure he has a lot of
free time.
He sounds like a very wisely investing type of person too. But I'm sure has a large bank account to be able to bankroll this, lawsuit that's going to happen. So I'm sure he's totally got that going for him too.
So here's my question, and I didn't dive in deep enough. Apparently, is he still in prison or is he out?
I thought he was out from what I'd read,
out.
but I honestly didn't really care enough about his life to really pay that much attention. So I was like, yeah.
So there is, if you want a reference to something that's kind of up this alley, in 2014, Lindsay Lohan, someone who is a little bit more famous than Florida Joker, also tried to bring to case the fact that the developer stole her likeness for one of the named characters in Grand Theft Auto 4, Lacey Jonas. but that suit was dropped. So the thing is, if this isn't a trailer, that's not to say that this character will actually be in the game. It could just have been in the trailer.
Well, that's what's kind of strange to sue over. It's like, is there actually any monetary gain to be had if it's just from a trailer?
Right.
Like, it's not like Rockstar is making money off of a trailer. It actually has to be from the release title.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is there even, like, what is the monetary value that you're basing this off
I don't
of?
know. Well, the monetary value is he wants $5 million.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I just want to know, where is he getting the money? Like, is there maybe there's just a law firm out there who's out to get Rockstar, who's just like, hey, we'll take your case.
I mean, there is contingencies where like they'll take it and they'll take like half of it if you win. So that's a thing. But yeah.
Yeah. Best of luck to you, buddy. I mean, that's about all I could say. It's just best of luck, because you're not gonna win.
So sad.
Yes, I'm so. Oh God. Yeah, no. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you have Netflix, I highly recommend this movie. I just watched it for, I don't know, I think I've probably watched this movie 7 times now, thanks to my kids. There's a movie out there called Nimona. It's based off of a graphic novel. It's phenomenal. I love it. I mean, I personally, it's not a movie I could watch back to back to back to back to back to back to back. But if it was ever one of those old school cases, if it was on TV, I'd stop and watch it again.
Well, of course, I don't know if you saw the news, but we're also now getting ads on our Netflix shows starting at the end of the January.
Woo.
I know, isn't it just great?
Yeah, so you basically just join the party for everybody else.
I know. It's like one of the reasons I like, or possibly soon to be liked, as in past tense, Amazon, was not having to watch ads on my shows. Now it's like I'm paying a not insignificant amount of money for the service, only to now be having ads in about a month. That's probably why I still watch the most of Netflix. Is I know they have the ads here free, but to hell with that, I'm getting the ad-free tier because I don't want ads.
Yep.
I know you can pay. I think it is a $3 charge you could get with Amazon to get it without the ads. So who knows?
And I just want to point it out, put it out there. There, the Hulu ad-free stuff, the ad-free tier is bullshit. I have the ad-free tier, and I still get random-ass ads on certain programs.
Okay, you know what really annoys me that I found out? So, like, I never watch sports live. I started like an hour late so I could skip commercials, right? So I'll set up to record. If you set it up to record ahead of time, you can skip all the commercials, no problem. Life is good. Like, it's actually kind of cool. Like, it'll actually figure out when the ads are and skip them for you. Like, they're just not there. Works great. However, if like you go to the live feature, you're like, oh, there's a football game I didn't know it was on. So you like start watching, you press pause, like you go to something half hour, press play. There are unskippable ads you now have to watch.
Oh no. Look.
It's so bizarre. I'm like, what the hell?
No, check this out. So I was watching a football game the other day, and I was like, it was like something happened right before. I think it's like, okay, now we're going to take a break because there was an injury or something. Or there was like they were going to do a booth review or something. So I wanted to go back and look at it. No, you had to watch the ad that had already started, or you might even have to watch the entire ad block to then get back to the live feature.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking
about.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Okay, So, ladies and gentlemen, I know that I hinted at the fact that as soon as this show is over, we will be doing the 24-hour Gameathon. I do want to give an update on a couple of games. So, without further ado, I wanted to point out that some of the games that you might be seeing Charlie play are some of Zealeus and my favorite games, that, of course, being Transistor and Bastion by Supergiant Games. There is a game called Trinity Fusion that looks pretty sweet, so I'll probably check that one out. Psychonauts 2, I've definitely wanted to play for a long time. I played the first one. Phenomenal game. And then it gets a little bit murkier. There'll probably be some Legend of Runeterra. I always end up playing that for a bit. I would not put it past me to play some FTL. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. FTL is probably in my future.
You usually play that on your
Yeah.
at some point in your extra lives, the game just kind of creeps in
Yep.
for some reason.
Slay the Spire is definitely gonna be in the crosshair. And you know, if I'm looking for a little bit of spookiness, I will probably play some Alan Wake 2 or a little Dead Space. I felt like there was another one that I had up there, but I can't remember what it is now. Oh, well.
You could replay Super Mario RPG.
I could. It is short enough, which is sad. Oh, the game Gylt, GYLT, the game that was a Google Stadia exclusive, but thankfully, okay, try the T as in Thomas.
Guilt.
Yep.
There we go.
I mean, it's really cool. Guilt is really cool. It is shape your fears, fear the shapes, embark on a journey where you face your worst fears and are confronted with the emotional impact of your actions in this narrative adventure game with puzzles, stealth, and action. Okay, so remove stealth because Charlie will never, ever be able to do stealth. But it to me, the little test run that I played of Guilt, I felt like it was kind of like Alan Wake Jr. It had that spooky other world quality to it. You could affect things with your flashlight, which was a huge thing in Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2. And then, of course, you're trying to save the soul or save this person who disappeared that no one else really gives a shit about, but you're like, damn it, I know I could save this person. So, yeah. I think that's, that'll probably get me through most of the time, and then I'm sure that I'll turn on the Switch and maybe play some, oh my gosh, I just blanked out. What is it called? Super Mario Brothers Wonderful. Or Wonder. Not Wonderful, Wonder. Shazam. So, and I'm also sure that at some point I am going to have random children poking their heads in. So I'll try to be on my best behavior.
So then you should play some Paladins.
If the children invade, then there might be a couple rounds of Paladins with one on the computer to my left. Or if I could get it to work correctly, there might be some cross-platform Halo. What do you call it? Oh gosh, what's the name of the bundle? The Master Chief Collection. Yeah.
Which I did get on sale.
Yeah, ditto. I was like, whoa, $10? Yes.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw the same thing. Oh, to the backlog.
Exactly. At the very minimum, I just, the short amount of time that I'll put into this game is worth $9.
That was my theory.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity,
Yes,
have you finished the Halo season 1?
No, I have not. I still haven't gotten past episode 1. I watched episode 1, and then I've been bogged down by, well, not bogged down, but I've been very busy with the holidays. Lots of family stuff. And then the moments of silence that I've had, it's either been very strange college football bowl games, or it's been random anime shows that there was a lot of people talking. I heard a buzz about a show called Revengers. Not bad.
Hmm.
I mean, it's pretty good, pretty good. And because I have a Crunchyroll
Ah,
subscription, it allows me to dip my toe in a bunch of random ass things. And of course, my mother-in-law gave my eldest a bunch of My Hero Academia stuff. So now we got to go back and watch more My Hero Academia because it's
nice.
been quite a while since last I watched that, and I've basically forgotten everything besides what the main couple characters can do.
Never seen it.
It's good. It's good. It's
I've heard good things
it's
about
like
it.
superhero high school basically, but then there's an evil organization that's trying to show how vulnerable the heroes truly are.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's actually a lot more common topic of a topic than you would think.
Hmm.
There are a lot of like schools that try to raise not necessarily superheroes, but like individuals with special abilities. And there's an evil organization out there that's trying to pull the blindfold off and basically Harry Potter this shit. Make people aware that there's wizards and the whole world is not muggles.
What?
No, cries, right? And of course, I know that I hinted at the fact that I was under the impression that we would have at least one MetaQuest 3 in our household, and I was correct. We do have
Nice.
a MetaQuest 3. I've taken it for a test drive a couple times. There's some fun things there, but I tell you what, after playing for a while, my sense of depth is really wonked up. like
Nice.
I'll like look in my hands, going, "Are these really my hands?" Is this really it's weird.
Am I real?
The
Am
proportion,
I fake?
it's like my like how I judge distances and proportions are slightly off after playing with it for a bit, and so it's a little
Makes sense.
unnerving. I've been playing a game called I think it's like Down the Rabbit Hole, which is like an Alice in Wonderland game, where some of it's in third person and some of it is in first person, depending on what scene you're in, and it's
Hmm.
really interesting. Like if you want to, I don't want to give away. I'm not going to give it away. Damn it, Charlie!
Fair enough.
Come on, Charlie! Be smarter than that.
Don't spoil sport.
And hopefully in the very near future, I will have the attachments needed so that I can utilize the headset on my computer. Because
Nice.
something that I didn't know in my ignorance, I will totally admit to this. I thought that that headset was immediately supposed to be plugged into a computer. I didn't know that it was a standalone platform itself. That
Ah,
it's got a 128 gig hard drive on there that you download the games to, and basically the only thing you really need is a Facebook account, or sorry, a Meta account, if we're being really super cool.
yep.
But yeah, because I was like, oh well, that's why we only got the one for the two kids, was we thought that
Yeah.
it had to be attached to the computer. I'm like, well, we don't know about the other computer if it can handle it. Then we find out that the whole damn thing runs by itself. We're like, well, shiznat. So there's going to
I
be
got
an
you.
additional one coming sometime tomorrow.
Oh, lucky guys being fancy.
I know. So,
2 kids, 2 sets.
and I will try to figure out how that they could share the library, because my goodness gracious.
I wish you luck on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're getting to the end of our show. I do want to once again highly recommend that if you are in or near the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, January 12th through the 14th, which of course is MLK weekend, I will be there starting the 11th. I want to make sure that I'm up there and have everything that I need, and I don't have to do any. I've been to out of state conventions where we've needed last minute things like box fans and shorts. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what that convention was called, Zealeus, but I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
My favorite one ever.
But anyways, I think that we've reached the end of our show, and this is our last show of 2023.
We survived another year.
I know, and we didn't do all that bad. I mean, we did. If you went to our Facebook page, I don't know if I got bored. I just was more interested to see where we were in terms of the number of episodes, because I felt like there was a lot of stuff that happened this year that kind of derailed quite a few of our episodes. So we're definitely above 30.
Nice.
This is
Well, you put all the stats online.
yeah, exactly. So I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but
It was extraordinary.
I think we're at 32 or 33, which is pretty damn good, seeing that there's only 50.
How many
Is
are
it
there,
52
sir?
or 53 or 54? I can't remember. God, I'm falling apart, guys.
52 weeks in a year.
52 weeks in a year. There you go. So
Yes.
not bad. Anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a happy new year to all of you, and thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure getting ready to come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next year in 2024 for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the new year.
Amen to that, brother. Hooray, we've done it. We've made it. Huzzah.
What have we done? I'm so confused.
We have made it through another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Oh, I always get confused on what we made it through.
Yes, it is. It is a little confusing, but that's okay.
So yeah, if you're gonna watch Halo, I think you only have 2 more days to watch it.
Son of a bitch. Well, worst case scenario,
Because it goes on- 'cause it's like
I'll go bother the piss out of my brother-in-law who has whatever that is.
Paramount Plus.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I have not been. I still have like 2 episodes to watch before tomorrow. I ended up watching, because that's also gone at the end of the month, was the 3 Divergent movies.
I never watched a single one of those.
The first one was, I gave the first one a 4 out of 5.
Mhm.
It was good. And the next 2 were 3 out of 5. They were watchable. I don't need to watch them again, but it was entertaining for what they were.
Gotcha. I don't know. I just
It was-
felt like it was what was the? I felt like it was another Hunger Games thing. I just never really.
What it really was it was the 100.
Ah,
It literally was like, I'm watching the 100. You have a show where it's like they're the last of their people on planet Earth.
Mhm.
And then, they find the other great big organization. Shocker. These people who are alive the whole time are actually the evil cabal the whole time. And it's like, wow, this is literally straight out of the 100. And I know there's more Divergent. I'm sure if I continue to watch the Divergent, well, I can't watch it because it's not made,
Right.
but I'm sure if I read the Divergent, you'd end up learning that there's aliens or they can travel to other planets. And oh my dear gosh, it just expands. I'm sure that happens in the series, because actually, what is the series at? Now I'm actually curious. So I think it's a long book series.
You know what really kills me is that it takes one shitty movie to derail an amazing storyline that would have been great in movies.
Oh, it's only 4 books. I thought it was longer.
I didn't get to see the first Mortal Engines movie, but the Mortal Engines series is phenomenal. But apparently it was so lackluster that there's like, yeah, we're not making another one.
Yeah, I saw that too. Which is crazy, because I remember the trailer looked amazing.
Yeah, I was like really excited. Then everyone's going, no, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. I'm like, damn it. But I wanna. I has to play it, guys. Like, I mean, I have to. I need let's see here. Zealeus put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What?
Oh, what's up, Virgil Kane, Manchester, England? What's up, my friend? We are just going through our list of games that Charlie might be playing for his 24-hour gameathon that he's doing at the very last minute.
Starting soon.
And I was counting how many games Zealeus actually listed in the chat.
I'm pretty sure I listed all the ones that you said.
I know, but I don't. I was trying to get a count because I was going to try to do like a random number generator or something to figure out where my starting point was going to be.
I think you should start with Psychonauts.
I don't know. I feel there is another game. Well, no, I don't want to start with that one. The other shit. Yeah, maybe Psychonauts. Psychonauts would be good. Come on, Charlie, you could think about that. Ooh, but Transistor or Bastion, because I played just like a itty bitty little piece of Bastion right before this. Or damn it, so many
And did it give you the bug again?
I just love the music. That's the fucking soundtrack. I pray every night, but there is more chance of getting hit by lightning while being attacked by. Good Lord. I pray every night, but there is more chance of getting hit by lightning while being attacked by a great white shark than getting a leg in this godforsaken town. Any thoughts, guys?
I feel like it's a non sequitur because I'm not sure how we get from praying to talking about lightning and great white sharks. Like, I feel like this is something coming straight out of Sharknado. Maybe it's the new plot for Sharknado, the lightning.
I don't know.
I feel like all the sharks, like, they get struck by lightning. Instead of dying, like, they multiply like a hydra. And they just, like, start shrapneling off with their teeth coming straight at everyone.
Yeah.
Although, sadly, that series is over.
Well, for better or for worse.
Yes, I've seen every single one of them.
For better or for worse.
They're great movies.
I, unfortunately, Virgil, don't know if I have any sound advice for you because I don't know truly what your situation is and what you're trying to accomplish besides getting a leg in this godforsaken town. So I apologize. The birds are really fussy. I'm assuming it's the birds outside your house, or perhaps you are an owner of many birds, or you have a roommate who has a fascination, or I don't want to say fetish, but the desire to hoard birds of all different types of persuasions. Hopefully, we're talking birds. They seem to have their knickers glued on. Okay, now, see, here's the problem. I do not fully know lingo from other countries. So this could be birds as in women, and he could be trying to have a relationship with said woman, and their knickers being glued on means that it's basically the store's all closed. And for that, my friend, I don't know.
I'm at a loss on what to do with the knickers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, my friend. What I can tell you is that I am going to have to jump off in a second for just a couple minutes to basically build up the horde of drinks and food that I will have or need to have to make it through this 24 hours of gaming.
I mean, you are allowed to like get up and get things, right?
Yes, I am, but I would like to try to minimize the amount of time that I need to be awake.
It's not a 24-hour stay your ass in the seat off-on,
No.
although that would be pretty awesome too.
My ass would be asleep. Not like my whole body, but literally just my ass would be asleep. It would be very painful. I would probably start sliding out of my chair.
Actually reminds me.
What?
You know what I've not done?
What?
I never gave to your extra life. How dare I?
Zealeus! My God, man. You bastard. What's wrong with you?
Well, I get that a lot.
It's probably from your family, isn't it?
You know, it's a collective effort.
Yeah, I figured.
All right. And done.
Sweet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this stream real quick. I will be back in probably about 12 minutes to start the 24 hours. But everyone, good night for now, and I will see you soon. And I hope, and Virgil, I hope that you figure out, or someone can give you the sound advice that we lack